Hello everybody, welcome to Maté Talk. What a pleasure it is to be before you all. I want to thank you for, well, I want to thank you for your company actually, and I know that my brain's going to start again, but I'm going to keep going. I love the comments, so I love all the comments that are coming through, and in a way, I had one subscriber say that they like it, they feel like it's a conversation. And I did say in my comments that it's designed to be a conversation. Unfortunately, only one of us is talking, and it's this guy. My wife calls me Chatty Chatterson. So yes, so until we get a chance to be in the room together and we can have a conversation, and I promise, if we are in a room together, I am gonna shut my mouth. I'll let you guys do all the talking. I'll do 10%, I promise. But right now, it's a full 100% from me, and anyway, I apologize for that. Maté talk time. So, of course, I've got my maté. Hope you have a great drink. Now, last week, I mentioned that there was a young lady who recently subscribed to the channel, but also became a member. And I'll tell you a bit about a membership in just a minute. And she said to me, you know, I noticed that you love sweet things and panettone. And she said, you really should get a Cozonac. Did I say that right as well? A Cozonac, I think I was saying Kozniki, I don't know what I was saying last week. Cozonac, which is a classic Romanian cake. But then they do a Christmas version of it with walnuts and other good stuff in there. And so I haven't tasted this yet. So I mentioned before that I'm going to do a new thing on the channel called Treatings Till Christmas. I'm going to put on a lot of weight, I have a feeling, but that's okay. I'm doing this for you guys. This is sacrifice. I'm going to cut this baby right now. So this is the first time I'm seeing the Cozonac. Looks very impressive. So for those who are not familiar with Cozonac, it looks like it's a pastry, and this is the Christmas one, which has walnuts and some other things in there. The lady told me, but I forgot, I have to be honest with you. They make it themselves. So for those locals, Aussies, or Melburnians, I should say, there's a place called Cafe Transylvania, and I went to them, and this is the one that they make. So here we go. Now, before I take a bite, we're going to do a live tasting on Maté Talk. So the first impressions. So before I do that, if you have, and I just realized as I was preparing, not everybody celebrates Christmas. So I apologize, because I did have an Indian person who recommended some Indian treats. So for your special festive celebration, whatever that might be, all right, for whichever part of the world you're in, a festive something, a treatings, that you do, put it in the comments. I'd love to check it out. So far, I've got Greek, and I think Greek is, Thanos, you really sold me those Greek treats and desserts that are for Christmas. So I think next week is going to be Greek. But I've also had a recommendation from India, or an Indian treat, and the Netherlands. And I have to say also, Sem, that the Dutch treats that you talked about. I'm like, yep, sign me up. I'm in for that too. But for today, the Cozonac, Romanian Cozonac. Here we go. Actually, watch this while I take a bite. This is Cafe Transylvania. Actually, notice this is the way you do it. You take a sip first, then take a bite. So excuse me. Makes everything sort of bitter in the mouth. Mama. Watch this video. The Cozonac works, everybody. It's good stuff. This is a big Cozonac. So I'm going to put on a lot of weight. So I better start jogging or something, because treating till Christmas, you're going to see me slowly put on 340 kilos. Isabella, a winner. This is, I'm going to say this is really yum. This is a really good treat. I did not know about a Cozonac until today. Is it something I'm going to buy regularly? I think so. I think this is something that should go on. So I've mentioned before, I love the panettones, but as a Christmas alternative, this is also, by the way, my edit, I'm going to push this aside because already my brain's going, take another bite, man, take another bite. That's for later. So my editors are going to help me out with this. So collectively, we're all gonna be nice and jolly before we get to Christmas. All right, let me move on, everybody. So now, I mentioned before about becoming a member. What does that mean? So you can become a member of the channel. As I mentioned, Isabella is a member of the channel. Every month, at the end of the month, I do a raffle, so a little spinning wheel, a little bit of fun, and I'll send you something. And the idea is that I'll send you some samples. You tell me what you like. I'll curate a little box of different goodies in there, and I'll send it across. Now, all the samples that I send out are legit, meaning that I don't decant stuff. So you're gonna get, if it's a Xerjoff or Creed or whatever it may be, you'll actually get the actual samples. Let me show you, because I am a little bit, sorry, as I reach across. I'm fortunate that I have some good connections, and so they send me different things. So now what I thought is, what if, so these are the samples, this is what I'm telling you about. So I thought for this coming month, so we've got two more weeks, I have this beautiful Amouage extrait, and it has the four, I think it's on a woman, interlude, so 43, 45, 53, and 56. So these are the powerhouse fragrances from Amouage. It's worth like $150, I think it is, $180. And then we have the beautiful Love collection with some wonderful floral fragrances that just gorgeous. I mean, the Tuberose one in here is just like heavenly. This is what we'll raffle. So if you're, if you like more, my brain's going, do both. We're gonna do both. So before, because normally I'm anticipating my brother who watches the content, and he says, and he's always like, just give it, be, not that he's a degeneracy, but he's like, make more winners. So all right, let's make more winners. I'm gonna send out two. So we'll do two spins next week, in 2 weeks time, 2 spins. If you're a member, we'll spin twice. First person who wins will get a choice between either Love or the extra. Again, just quietly, you want this one, not that you want, but this is the bougie one. This is the more expensive one. Become a member, $4, get a chance to win. I'll send this anywhere around the world, all right? So that'll go out to you guys. Boom. All right, let me show you. Small drink, small drink. My brain is still saying to me, I want more Cozonac. I want more Cozonac. This is why I think I'm a little bit on the spacey side. So it's really good, everybody. If you happen to get a Romanian place, and I had the option of buying the one in the packet, but come on, the one in the packet versus the one is freshly made. I mean, there's no choice there, really, is there? Okay. I've talked about before, all right, I'm gonna settle down, just relax a little. I think maybe I'm trying to rush so I can eat the cake. NUIT NOMADE. I've mentioned about these guys before. When I was in Paris in March, we were doing our reconnaissance for all things, the tour that we did this year. And in the Javoy store, I was like a kid in a candy shop, I came across this brand here, which is NUIT NOMADE. Now this is the one that I purchased, this one, and also Sugar Leather. So those who are not familiar with the brand, I would recommend check out Sugar Leather. I think the brand is very accessible, as in if you're new to niche, it's a great entry-level brand. They've got a really good collection. Let me show you this too. I did excuse me. You can see all the things behind me. You can see my little Japanese, you see that guy there? There's lollies inside him. I'll tell you about that in a second. So I mentioned, I've done one of the, you can win something, sorry, the membership thing, is this incredible gift set. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. It's just a beautiful, these are the various fragrances. So I know, and what I'm saying is that NUIT NOMADE do a really good job. This is what was their packaging. They were very kind to send me this. So they've seen I guess, my love for their brand, things that I've shared, And they sent me this in the mail, and it was really to show off their new packaging, which is exceptional, and I want to show it off to you guys. This is called Memory Motel. It's a fragrance that I had come across, I had smelt it, but I'm showing, can you see all this? So just the packaging on all these babies is pretty impressive. Now, this is a new fragrance that I've discovered. This is comfortably something that I would put forward to anybody, no matter where you are in the world right now. It has notes, so if you look at it on paper, it has notes of patchouli, vanilla, leather, and you think to yourself that it would be, tobacco. So you think to yourself it would be kind of a heavy, woody, sort of very masculine leaning scent. You would be completely wrong. This is a really good, another good reason why you never blind buy, because if you saw the notes, you'd think, oh, yeah, this is what it is. The reality is, for me, when I've sprayed it, for those who are familiar with my process, I never look, I try not to look at any notes, just what is the fragrance saying to me on first spray as I wear it. I found that it was almost, has this floral, even now as I'm smelling it, has this floral component to it. It's very light, it's very airy. It does dry down a little bit more on the ambery, sort of warmer side, but never a deep ambery fragrance. Even though it has the patchouli and leathers and all that sort of stuff, it stays as a very light, sort of joyous, spring in your step kind of fragrance. Sandra does not like vanilla, leather, so Sandra, my wife, leather, patchouli. Tobacco she's not too bad with, but those three, that's like a trifecta of no thank you please. I've been wearing this since I received it. I've been wearing this, and she's commented a few times, I really like the fragrance you're wearing. I haven't told her. I just said to her, it's the new one from NUIT, NOMADE. She's like, it's really, really nice. It's got a beautiful scent profile. She'll come in closer. This is another test too. Sometimes she can smell the sillage or the projection of it and really likes it, but as she comes close for I guess a closer smell, she's like, ooh, that's, what has that got? And then that's when she says, has that got leather in it? Has that got this? Whereas here, she'd be like, no, it's really, really nice. So, upon investigation, because my brain was hurting, I needed to find out what is this floral note. There is a carnation, and there is also iris or orris butter that's in the heart of it. I really feel that that floral note, and the truth is, if you put carnation in front of me, I wouldn't know how to detect it. I wouldn't be able to say, isolate it and go, that's exactly, I just realized, am I focused? Yes, I am. I hope so. Oof. I'm gonna keep going. I'm hoping I'm focused. Yikes. Oh my gosh, now my brain's really sweating it. No, I can't, because you can't watch, I can't watch that as a soft focus. That would. So welcome back. You saw a few things that you normally wouldn't see. One is the director brain going, you have to stop. You can't go any further. We're done. We're not moving anywhere. No more cuteness, Mr. Cute Guy. We're done. You need to turn this off. You need to check that your focus is right. And the reason why is that we had used this camera for another shoot that we were doing. And I needed to check, was my focus good? That was one. Two, you heard me talking to myself. Now, everyone that works with me knows that there is two parts. This sounds crazy, and this sounds legitimately crazy. There's two parts to me. So I like to verbalize things, and so my brain is actually speaking, and so I'm responding to it. So what you heard me is me talking to the performer Marcelo, going, no, not good enough, because it's going to kill me if I see soft focus. I won't be able to live with myself, sort of thing. So anyway, my editor Hannah, sometimes she'll walk past and she's like, you okay? Because I'm in like full conversation with myself. Anyway, insanity. That's what it is. If we were in the 1940s, 1930s, I'd be getting shock therapy. I'd be like, no, he's legitimately crazy. So that I'd be getting some sort of treatment done to me. Anyway, where was I? Memory Motel. Because as I was doing some practices, I kept smelling this, and I honestly, those heavy notes, patchouli, what was it? Patchouli, tobacco, leather, vanilla, yes. So vanilla, There's a very gentle vanilla, but very, in my opinion, very floral. There is a definitely floral nature. Not a feminine leaning fragrance. So don't think just because so it's interesting. On paper, it looks like a very masculine leaning fragrance. When you smell it, you think it's a very feminine leaning fragrance. On skin, it does something else. This is a really, really good reason why you never blind buy. So check it out. Really impressive. Again, I do like these guys a lot. And the packaging is awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you sending this gift across. I will enjoy it, I promise. Alors, because I've been saying alors and it's wrong. It's alors or allora, as they would say in Italy. I'm gonna put this aside. Okay. If you haven't put your name on the hot list, I'd recommend that you do. So at the end of this week, we're actually sending out the formal invitation to all those who have put their name on that hot list. This is for the France Fragrance Tour that is happening in September. Only the individuals who are on this hot list, on this VIP hot list, will receive a special offer. It's only valid for 10 days. The idea is that we've been curating something quite special. It's actually an event that will happen the evening of, all right? So the tour starts on Wednesday the 18th. This special event will happen on Tuesday the 17th, and it's a bit of welcome to Paris. Bienvenue à Paris. So it's something that's really cool that we've been working on. We finally got the 100% confirmation on this guy, or on this concept, and we're going ahead. It's gonna be awesome. So if you wanna know what that is, because we won't talk about it outside, once the 10 days is done, whoever is actually jumped on board during that hot list period, those individuals will go. Now we're only seeking for 12 names, all right? So 12 names is all that we want to take on this tour. So let's say only 5 people jump on board. Well, those 5 will go to the special event pre the actual start of the tour. However, if we get all 12 from this hot list, then we won't open it up to the rest of the community. And that's it. We'll have our 12 and we'll move forward in prepping everything up for these individuals. We currently have 83 names on the hot list. This is when I actually, because it's coming through on the NFC website, and I mentioned to Kevin, I said, you know, how many names do you think we got? And he was saying, oh, hopefully 30, oh, crossing my fingers, there's about 50. So there's 83 names, so it's pretty exciting. Again, we're only seeking for 12 people who will join us. So that invite, that special offer will go out this weekend. We look forward to, and then valid for 10 days, we look forward to you guys hopefully jumping on board. Boom. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. I look a bit sharper, don't you think? I did tweak the focus a tad, because not that it was soft, but focus is important. Anyway, all right. I was talking about whenever I'm talking about fragrances, as a family, we are all deep into the love of perfumery. I just mentioned my wife and, you know, the fragrance that she loves. Actually, last week was all about Sandra's top 10 fragrances for life. So I've done, when I talk about my sons, I've done a little bit of work with Nelson, one of my sons. And this is the, for those who have missed the, baby, what's your name? I need to do more of those, by the way. I've been trying to find some more candidates to jump on board with that concept. Anyway, so Nelson and I, we did these 2 episodes of Baby, What's Your Name? The whole idea is I blindfold people and they smell something and see if it has that Baby, What's Your Name kind of feeling to it. And Nelson and I, we are 2 peas in a pod. We're very similar, goofy kind of joking around. My other son, Farron, FAZZ. So this is Farron and I. We actually traveled to Japan together, and we love jump shots. And we traveled to Osaka, and naturally in Osaka, this is pre my starting the channel. So this is 2019 that we were traveling together. And the fragrance that I took, because we were going to Osaka and Tokyo, the fragrance that I took for Osaka, because it was going to be cold and I knew that we were going to be going to Kyoto, jump shot. And, you know, so I wanted something that was going to be ambery and warm and spicy, but woody components to it. So, of course, Clive Christian X. If you have not discovered this fragrance, please go do yourself a favor. This is one of, so I know I'd never say about my top 10, but this is definitely one of those that I'm constantly reaching for, one that I take with me if it's cool, if it's cold. Clive Christian X is just a masterpiece for us. So I took that one along with me. Then we went to Tokyo, jump shot. And we went to, and of course, I had to have a fragrance for that because the vibe is different. We're now in an urban landscape, city-like. I had been to Japan before, and I went to the Le Labo store, and I did buy Guaiac 10, which is a city exclusive celebrating Tokyo. So Clive Christian was for Osaka and that region there, and Guaiac 10 was for my Tokyo experience. Now, when I said to Farron, what fragrance do you want to bring? Because we always take fragrances when we travel. He said, I just want one. And I said, no, you don't want a cooler weather? And no, just want one. Just give me Creed. He called it Creed. So for the longest time, Farron would call Aventus Creed. Just bring me Creed. So every time he smells Aventus, for him, this is Japan in a bottle. And as you can see, we hit this fragrance fairly hard. It's a favorite within the family. If you want to know more about Aventus, I mean, this is a really, I mean, it's like saying if you want to know more about the USA or, you know, Paris. But anyway, if you want to know more about Aventus, you can check out this episode that I created. This is glorious. As a masculine fragrance, this is, well, if I look at Farron, this was his go-to fragrance for a very, very long time. Have a look at this video. Boom. This is my good friend, consigliere, Fred. I want to thank Fred. He was super generous and gifted me. He sent me this. I received it in the mail yesterday. It's the new Absolu Aventus by Creed. Obviously, I'm going to talk about this in just a second. I do like the new packaging too, by the way. I'm into packaging. I never throw boxes away. So regardless, even the simple box of what Creed used to come to, I've got them all. But this new packaging is very slick. So what I want to do today, and now, so this is going to be a bit of a free-flowing river. I've got some ideas, but what's going to happen in the end, we'll find out. And I want to talk about the 3 glorious fragrances that are these Aventus siblings, essentially. And I thought it would be great to make a comparison. Let me just say, when I heard that Absolu Aventus was coming out, hand on my heart, I wasn't intending to buy it. I thought, I don't know, you know, is it another flanker? I mean, I've got Aventus, Aventus Cologne Aventus. I mean, I think I'm pretty happy. That's my wife. Maté dog. It's Maté dog. And I thought to myself, do I need another one? We had to meet up at Oillataguerre, and the wonderful and very charismatic Big Mike, he came along, and it just released. I think it came out the day before, and he already had his copy of it. He brought it to Oillataguerre so that we could test it out. And I have to say, he was also kind. Mike, thank you very much. He actually gave me a sample. And I have to be honest with you, in that moment when I sprayed, I'm like, oh, man, I'm gonna have to buy this one. Because it was so different. And I'm like, and I even said to Mike, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna test, because already I'm detecting a whole new fragrance here. So even though it has, I guess, I felt the Aventus DNA component to it, I'm like, this is different, this is so different. Anyway, Big Mike, he gave me a sample, and which I'd been using, and I'd been testing it, and it is completely different. So today, I'm going to compare all 3. I've been wearing all 3, had meetings in the city. I've been wearing, I'm wearing Absolute today, so I've got it on my chest and my stomach as I like to. It's on my arm. Aventus is here, Cologne is here. Let us begin. So if I begin with the granddaddy, I almost feel that this is now, where before I saw this as a special occasion, where something that I would wear not necessarily every day, now in place of this guy here, this I feel can comfortably be my now everyday Aventus fragrance. This is now my everyday cologne or my everyday fragrance that I wear. It's quite interesting that the difference on the Aventus, what I'm detecting, is that the fruity component that made this glorious, those early citrus, that pineapple in the heart, is definitely its trademark for the original. It does dry down, and I'm in wearing it today, it does dry down to, again, the characteristics of that birch tar that's in the base. It is a little bit leather-like, but more wood-like, if anything else. It's quite interesting that, and I know there's all the comments on batch codes and all this sort of stuff. I always felt, look, I don't get into it, so just to give you a heads up, I don't know what batch number this guy is. But one thing that I did know is that I felt that my longevity on Aventus was very good. I'd always get great mileage out of it. I have also felt that its projection was awesome. Whenever I was wearing it, people would detect it. People would genuinely give me compliments when I was wearing this guy here. However, I've been wearing this today, and I've been also the tester, so I've been using that tester, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I've been wearing this today, and oh mama, I'm like, I didn't think, I mean, when I bought Cologne, there was a little bit of a difference, but similarity, but you know, different places to be utilized, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Cologne in a minute. But I almost feel, and I feel bad saying this, that this guy really overshadows, you know, so Absolu, where, as I said, when I first tested it in Oillataguerre with Mike, I instantly knew, I'm like, hang on a second, I've got something else on here. And today, wearing this, I need to, the truth is I need to wear it more. As I said, I got it yesterday. So I need to really give it more of a test run. But so far, I'm gonna say even if you have Aventus, you need to check out this baby here. So let me tell you some more stuff. So, like I said, this one here, I feel like the fruits on that opening from my discovery today has been very much there. It's interesting too, that if I try to smell them back to back, so if I smell this and then that, I can't detect it as well. I have to literally give myself a break. And I feel like the DNA construct is very similar. So if I smell this and then that, I'm not really detecting the nuances. Smell this first, pause, blah, 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 and then come here, I'm like, oh wow, there it is. Then I can pick up more nuances. Anyway, what do I love? When this one came out and I first started getting it, I love it for, this is my summer fragrance. I feel like Aventus was more my sort of cooler weather, autumn, early spring, evening fragrance, worked fantastic. In full heat, in full summer, Aventus Cologne is a rock star. It is glorious. I feel two parts on this. One, it has a lot more, so I honestly feel this could be a combination right here. I love you, I do love you. But you know, if you wanna do an Aventus matchup, I think maybe this could be the combination here. Anyway, I love Aventus Cologne. The citrus components of it are glorious. On that opening, I think there's mandarin and there's a grapefruit. Is there grapefruit? I'll put it here. I know there's mandarin in that opening because that citrus opening component is phenomenal, glorious. What I love is that for me, I don't know if there's ambergris. I know it says musk, but it has more of an ambergris kind of salty component to it, a bit more aquatic in its construct. For me, this is a glorious summer fragrance. This is sunshine, but it has all in the framework of the Aventus DNA. So that pineapple note is there, but it's a lot more sunny and vibrant and happy and joyful and uplift. And so for me, this is, as a summer fragrance, when you start to sweat, Aventus Cologne, there is nothing quite like it. And let me come back to the brand new baby. Let me also point out, I love, so as I said, I love the new packaging. So this box is very cool, and I love the new feel of everything. One thing that I always lamented about Creed, you know, it's not a cheap product, but I'm like, the lid was always, used to break my heart. You know, I just wanted more from that lid. Whereas this new upgrade, this weighty lid that's here, this metallic lid, I feel like the bottle has a density to it. Anyway, the bottle itself, it is a smaller bottle, but I'm okay with that personally. Anyway, it was a gift, so of course I'm okay with it. Didn't have to pay for it. Thank you, Fred. Fred, thank you. Thank you, a million thank yous. Grazie mille. So yeah, so now this guy. So wearing it today. It is now coming on to 4 o'clock. I sprayed this morning, would have been about 9 a.m. when I got into the office. So comfortably, what's that? Me and mathematics. Me and art, no problem, okay? But me and maths, we're not the best of friends. So what's that? That's 3, 4, 7 hours. Boom. I got this. 7 hours, and I'm still detecting very clean, very clear. 7 hours. Again, I did the mix and match. Give me one sec. It's there. It's present, but it's present. And again, I think, like I said, I think there's some sort of musk or something in the base there. But it's still there. However, this one is, boom, this one here, really, really, really impressive, really impressive. I mean, considering that I'm very familiar with Aventus, I am in love with it. I am maybe fussy in my regards to, you know, do I include another flanker or anything like that? I feel like this is a whole new iteration. So one component, when the fragrance opens, it does have a very distinct citrus, but to my nose, grapefruit. And it could be the inception. I did see some marketing where I saw the grapefruit, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I can smell this grapefruit. It reminds me a little bit of Elysium in that opening. However, the difference is, because at first when and Mike is as my witness, so I did this without having looked at notes in front of Mike, and I said that the grapefruit almost smelled bitter-like. There was like a bitterness to it. I discovered that there is ginger in that opening, and I think that grapefruit citrus and ginger combination gives it this wonderful new spicy new dimension to it. Beautiful, beautiful. I believe there's also even cardamom, but the cardamom is not as discernible, and I think, but maybe it's that combination. It does have a very distinct, very unique and brand new experience when it comes to the opening of this fragrance. The classic pineapple is in the heart. I did do some investigation. There is pineapple in the heart, but I feel like everything's now, so there are the classic notes that are in the original, but I feel like all the notes have now been turned up to 11, in some cases 12. We're just getting a lot more out of them. One of the key things that as it began to dry down, hanging out in Oillataguerre when I first experienced, I did say to Mike, I'm getting a very green, but when I say green, I'm not talking effervescent green, I'm talking more green, wood-like, more deeper, more masculine leaning. So vetiver, I kept saying, for me, I felt like there was like a mossy component to it. There is moss in the base. I mean, even now, I'm just the mossiness, the woodiness, that greenness. The pineapple is still present, but it's not as fruity as this baby is when it opens up. It's less, if anything, it's more black tie. It's more mature. And actually, as I was preparing, I thought to myself, this is the fragrance that I started off as a younger man. This is the fragrance I'm moving to now as an older man. So Aventus still would be great. I mean, I smell it everywhere. I mean, there's a huge shopping center here called Chadstone. It's the fashion capital. So their marketing works. So that was the first thing that came to my brain. So when I walk into Chadstone, I almost feel like I'm smelling Aventus in stereo. And I detect this fragrance quite regularly in that space. So I feel like this is definitely a younger man's fragrance, or has become, whereas this is a beautiful companion now for a more mature man. Oh, I put myself in that category. Anyway, long story to say, I rate this very high. So I'll experience it more first day at it. Let me just say one other thing too. I went to Cafe Transylvania today to get the Cozonac. The woman in there was super kind. What are you doing? Because I was asking her questions about it. Anyway, maybe this is a Romanian thing, very hospitable. She said, sit down, I'm gonna give you a cabbage roll. I didn't pay for it. She also gave me some samples of other stuff. I don't know why, she was being very generous. So I had the smell of food on me, because it's a restaurant cafe. I went into the car and I sat down, and in sitting down, my clothing, because I always spray on my stomach, my chest, on skin, and in that moment, sort of air traveled through my body, and this thing popped. Would have been about 5 hours into the fragrance, and this thing just went woof, glorious. So, going back, Fred, thank you. Thank you for your generosity. You didn't need to do it, but I am appreciative. In the end, I think it was going to be one that put it this way, it was one that was on my radar to buy, because I'm thinking I was testing the sample that I got, and there was a clear distinction between the two fragrances. My son, Farron, he went out recently. I said to him, test out the sample, because I hadn't received this yet. He went out on the weekend, went to a party wearing the Absolu, and I rang him before it. I said, rate the two together, and he said, like, the new one is amazing. He goes, I didn't get any compliments, because he already knows the sort of questions I'm going to ask him. Because I didn't get any compliments from anybody, but he goes, I felt it, I smelled so good. I could smell it all through the evening. He goes, it smells different. It has a different feeling to it. He goes, but it just smelled so good. It's a yummy fragrance. So there it is. From the boy who loves all things Aventus, also gives a tick of approval to Absolu. That was a bit of a mess, but oh well, there we are. It's Maté talk. It's amongst friends, so hopefully there will be a little bit of sympathy. We'll see how we go. I look forward to the comments. Actually, the comments will tell me where we stand on all this. Don't forget, everyone, if you become a member, chance to win the Amouage. This one here, or this guy here. The reason why I didn't restart, so after I cut and I looked at it and I looked at the shots and I did all this stuff, I didn't want to cut because I had already cut the Cozonac and I wanted to get that first impression. Otherwise it just looked like I was fabricating that, and I wanted to keep it real, baby. Thanks everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next Maté talk. Tell me what you like so I can get treatings for Christmas.